I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I have traveled the world over, but never found a peace that comes from watching my fishes as they swim about their home. My heart is happy and I am content to sit and watch them swim. I will not be alone while these fishies are in my home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.
Hey, Father Fish, how's it going?
Oh, good. Hi, everybody. Nice to see
Right.
Get a little water.
Oh, definitely. Can't have too much water. Hey, we've already got John Shane waiting to come up and show up his tank.
I know we do. He was popping up in here earlier saying his wife Gabrielle is ready to show us his tank or her tank.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we need to see what this is all about. See what she's doing. Another great live stream, says William. You betcha.
Definitely.
You betcha. Vaya con Dios. Hello from Europe. Let's see. I need to get some wrenches out. I got a problem.
What's wrong?
Well, something I haven't been able to fix. The background on my screen is black rather than white.
Yeah, that's strange.
And I don't know how to fix it.
I wonder if it'd be the wallpaper, your desktop wallpaper, if it might be that. I'm not sure how you get to that on Windows.
No, it's not the wallpaper.
It's not?
It's actually the color of the background color of Google.
Now that's strange.
And I don't know what to do about it. And it's affecting all of my computers.
Oh no. I'll ask Dean about it and see if he's heard about it. Because he may have run into that. Actually, somebody in the comments, Catherine Stewart said that it may be that it's on dark mode. I'm not sure how you would turn that off though.
Maybe. I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I've struggled with it for hours trying to figure out what the setting is, and I can't find the setting. Adam is here. Hey, Adam.
Hey.
All right. I guess we're into John and Gabrielle here.
There you go.
Hi there.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Look at this. Hi, Gabrielle. Mercy. Isn't that pretty?
It is gorgeous.
Help me set up.
to the tank that Daddy helped me set up.
It looks very nice.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Oh, that's fine.
It's a tank full of plants, isn't it?
There's the blue aquarium that you gave us.
Wonderful. Yes.
Here's the angel fish. I love
So,
angel fish.
the angels, yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're very pretty. You've done a really good
And
job.
there's a discus back here.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
cool. It's a beauty.
There's a blue one right here.
Nice. So
The tank
how,
is beautiful.
I think that's a turquoise.
it looks wonderful. I
Mhm.
love it. Good job.
Definitely. I love the hardscape in there too.
Thank you.
A beautiful tank.
That's
Very
just a natural rock.
right.
Hey, that's the best way to go is natural.
That. Thank you very much for showing us this. That's a really good job.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. Bye for now.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. They did a great job.
Oh, Sammy, Central PA. Oh, we had somebody drive down today from Philadelphia.
Wow.
They get plants. They got the dirt shipped to them. So they're all set up. They came to buy plants and they got a few fish. And they're probably going to be on the live stream tonight. So
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
we'll wait and see.
Hmm.
That may be who that was.
That would be cool.
Nice. Oh, Adam said Philly is his hometown. Nice. It's about 3 hours, about a 3 hour drive.
Definitely worth the drive though.
Or wire. Fish family. Sunny G. Angel Laclamon. Megan is here. I'm Megan. Doom Pie. Sunny G. West Virginia Mama. Catherine Stewart. Bells is here. And Brenda. Brenda's hobbling around on crutches.
Yeah.
She took a too big a step off her front porch. What, Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. It was either Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah,
I think it was
right.
Wednesday though. And that's a bad spring. Ooh.
What? She
Yeah.
hollered before I hear.
Yeah, I couldn't make out what she said.
Stan Pittman. Hey, Stan.
Wednesday. That's what she said in the chat. Is Wednesday.
Right. I walked in. She's laying on the couch, and she said, "I had a boo boo."
Oh.
Worse than that. Ronnie Fleming. Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, I'm trying to figure out how to turn this thing around.
Well, just turn your. You
Turn
can just that's
Perfect.
good. That
How do
We
I
got-
change the aquarium?
okay. We got that far.
Hmm.
All else fell around this way.
Perfect.
Can you see it?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, Father Fish, the reason I wanted to come on here and show you, this is a year old. This tank is a year old. I've not had any problems with it other than algae. I have to kind of watch it. I had to try to turn the lights back some.
Yeah.
I have been doing aquariums for over 40 years. And last year, first time I saw you and saw the substrate and how you did it. And it has changed the way I look at aquariums.
Well, that's nice to hear. Thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah, I've got 2 little ones here.
Oh, cool. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, let me show you another one over here. Hold on just a second. This is a 20-gallon aquarium here.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Wow.
But anyway, I watched so much of your videos. Just very thankful, and just wanted you to know I appreciate you,
Well, thank you so much, Ronnie.
all that I've learned from you.
Thank you. Nice.
All right, thank you, Dana.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love his guppies. They're so cute.
Yeah. It's nice guppies. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Very colorful.
Angle this camera a little better.
Hey, that works.
That's better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I feel you on that one.
Catherine Stewart, 10 question. 200 watt heaters. Temperature set. What size tank is it, Catherine? I don't know, Megan. I don't know when we're going to start selling fish. I am apprehensive about selling them through the post office. They've gotten to the point now where we're running 10 to 15 bad orders a week, which is just really unacceptable. It's it's approaching 10%
Ooh.
of the orders are taking over 10 days to get delivered. And the plants don't survive. And fish won't either. You know, they guarantee 3-day delivery, but they also refuse to compensate.
Right.
And I consistently, I'll find orders that are shipped all over the country, back and forth for days, sometimes weeks on end. And it's become unacceptable. The difficulty is it's a relatively inexpensive service, but the quality is so undependable that I absolutely cannot ship fish that way. Even overnight. I've had, over the last month, I've shipped 3 or 4 packages overnight, supposed to be delivered the next day. None of them got there the next day. It was 2, 3, or 4 days before they were delivered.
Wow.
So, it's become impossible to deal with them. I mean, that would be the solution. And for expensive fish, I would not want to ship them any other way, they would have to go overnight. Um, snails, bettas, that kind of thing, guppies, tetras could mostly ship in 2 to 3 days and they'll be okay. But if it's going to take a week, they're not going to be okay.
No, they wouldn't.
So I'm going to have to talk with FedEx and UPS
Mhm.
and see what the deal is with them. It's going to cost more, and I really need to be able to pass the shipping cost along to the customer. I don't want to increase the price of goods. I really can't do that. And I know if I increase shipping costs even $5, tell you one of the things I was thinking about. I was thinking about shipping postal service for $10 with no guarantee. $15 with the guarantee. $15 out of UPS or FedEx, or maybe even 20. I don't know what it's going to cost to do that. I know it's more,
Yeah.
but I could do that. I hate to do it because that means people are going to be disappointed if they don't buy that service. And I don't want to do that to anybody.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And shipping in general right now for everything seems to be slow. Anything I've ordered online, unless it's Amazon, and even Amazon was delayed. Not sure what's going on with shipping.
Uh, Daniel said, Father Fish, wish you had a shop in Europe. That would be fun.
That
It
would
wouldn't
be.
be hard to do. We just need somebody to do it. It ain't hard to do. And it probably would do well.
Probably would.
Financially, the key to it is the plants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if we could do the plants, if we had somebody, the plants are certainly available at wholesale
Mm-hmm.
in Europe. Just somebody is willing to set up a business to do that. Sam is here. Hi, Sam.
Hey, hi, Father Fish. How are you doing?
Good.
Greetings
I'm
from India.
feeling a little better. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Hi, I wanted to show you my tank and some suggestions as in what plants I could do here. Just one
Okay.
moment. Let me just figure out. Let me just see how I can turn this thing around. All right.
Easy, probably just to flip it.
There we go.
I love that hardscape.
Yeah,
Look at
I
all that.
just kind of kept it bare and just the drifter. I have some gouramis, some raspberries, some baddis,
Mm-hmm.
and
Are you,
some hill stream loaches.
what's your substrate?
It's just basic white sand.
Just saying, yeah. So
Yeah.
you don't have any nutrients in there. Yeah.
Oh
Well,
no, nothing.
yeah. What size tank is it?
It's like 100 centimeter tank.
100 liter,
100 centimeters. It's like 20 gallons, 25 gallons.
20 gallons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I'd recommend at this point that you get some a dirted substrate in there. You can save that sand and reuse it. It wouldn't take you 15, 20 minutes to drain it,
Hmm.
put the dirt in, put the sand on. You don't have plants going yet. And you can't do plants in there because they're not going to
Yeah,
grow. It'll have nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be
absolutely.
my recommendation is that where do you live? Are you here in the
Uh,
States?
Now, I live in Mumbai. Let me just show you my other tanks. I have a few father
No,
fish, and
okay,
I've been watching you like for a few days now, and check
okay,
these out. So I have a few plants as well.
Ooh,
This is
okay,
another
nice.
20 gallon.
okay. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's that substrate? What do you have?
This is ADA aqua soil.
Okay. Cap it with sand. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it'll all leach out into the watercolor. If you put sand on top of that, you don't need a lot, half an inch to an inch. It will hold all the nutrients down in there and keep them from leaching into the watercolor. It's really a way to protect that ADA product.
right, right. I agree.
You could use
And
black,
then and
you
then I
know.
have another one here.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like the rock.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of character to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have all the Alteranthera Reinecke at the back, like giving it all the red vibes. This is all low tech. I mean, I don't have CO2 or anything, just ADA
Right.
aqua soil.
Right. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
is.
Appreciate you sharing this with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Father Fish.
Thank you so much. Nice to have you up. Bye for now.
Hopefully, he'll give us an update in a week. He's got some gorgeous tanks. And
Yeah. Nice.
Squirt 94 has a question for you, Father Fish.
Did we ever get the size tank from Catherine?
I don't believe so.
She had 200-watt heaters that were not getting her past like 79 degrees. Um,
Lloyd says in the chat, she said it was a 30 gallon.
oh, okay. 100-watt heaters. Adjustable. I assume they're adjustable. I don't know. You could do a 200 or 250-watt heater
What are you
for
doing?
who says?
Um,
Daniel.
CZ. Hi.
yeah.
Hi, Daniel. Hi there.
Oh, I hope you're doing well.
Beautiful
Nice.
tank.
Thank you. Uh, I kind of added sand to the tanks.
Yes. Well, it looks great. Looks
Mm-hmm.
very healthy.
Thank you. And the Daniels keep breeding.
Right.
I'm gonna have to set up another aquarium here for them.
Plants are doing well.
Yeah. Thank you. Uh,
I
yeah.
like it.
That
I
looks
put the
beautiful.
hydrophil in a different spot.
Yeah.
Uh, and I put the Amazon sword right here. Um, can the filter cause a problem with the Amazon sword? Like,
It should
uh,
not.
yeah, good.
Should be okay.
Yeah, its roots weren't really set in too much, so I could still replant it. It
Yeah.
wasn't there for a
Right.
while. Yeah, I added like I think an inch and a half or 2 inches of sand,
Okay.
and I have a lot of driftwood in here. I'm hoping that some biome film will grow
Right.
on it for my
Nice.
shrimp and other fish.
I'm
But
sure. it will.
yeah, not yet, but in some time it will.
Right.
Yeah,
Looks very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
thank you. And I have some hermanos here with the betta,
Uh huh.
but they're usually not able to be seen because they're hermanos. So
Right.
they're just invisible.
Amano. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the rabbit snails are doing pretty good.
Right.
So are the mystery snails. Just the betta keeps
The neurons. Yeah.
uh, yeah, just the betta keeps wanting food,
Right.
but I can't overfeed her.
It looks very nice. Yeah, you could put more fish in it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. I like it,
Mm-hmm.
Donnie.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye
You
for
too.
now. Hunter is here.
Everybody.
Hey.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I just want to thank you, Father Fish. My son wanted a fish tank. I have a fish tank at the office, and I inherited it, and so it's not that tank is not a Father Fish style, but I will be converting it. Um, but I got my son a fish tank, and we got Father Fish soil here, and 2 inches of soil. There's my betta, and the plants are doing awesome.
Nice.
Uh, of course, the second time we went to the fish store, he had to have this tank, which whatever. It's blocking my it's blocking my favorite tiger lotus. But
Oh,
everything's doing great, and I just want to thank you for getting me back in this hobby through YouTube.
well, thank you.
One quick question before I go. I want to ask: is this stuff right here? Is that cyanobacteria or is that beneficial bacteria? That green stuff on the sand. I don't know
It's
if you see it.
algae.
It's algae. Okay.
Yeah.
So more plants, let it be.
Yeah. Cut the
Got
light
it.
back a little, maybe.
Yeah, and I was thinking I would get a mystery snail to help with that, with the
That's a good
detritus down
idea.
here. But
Yeah.
I really like the look of an open tank. You can see my wisteria is growing out of the tank.
Oh, I know.
So everything else will probably too. Any other type of detritivore you think might work? That won't crawl out of the tank.
Yeah, a Cory cat, or even a Plecostomus.
Oh, you think a pleco would work, like a bristlenose pleco?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. You guys rule. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Hunter.
Thank.
Take care. Bye
All
for
right. Thanks.
Bye.
me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't ship through Amazon because I can't. What is that? Mike 1993 just made a $49.99 donation to the cause here. So
Thank
take
you.
Father, nice to see you. Again, hope everything's been well. Keep you in my prayer. Thank you so much, Mike. Um, I
Looks
kind
like
of came to a conclusion today that I've got to fight this thing.
absolutely.
And I've been reading up on AFib, and that basically what they say is you can go in one of two directions with it. You can either allow it to overwhelm you, or you can overwhelm it. You can learn to live with it. I am supposed to have a procedure in about 3 weeks which seems like a long time to wait.
Yeah, it
Um,
does.
I might be looking for another option. I've got a number of uh, doctor visits this week, so I want to get through them and we'll see where we're at by the end of that. But I was on my feet a lot today, more than I normally am, and I feel better for it. So I
Hey,
think
that's
I
improvement.
need to continue to do that. And then the other thing is, I'm going to stop going to bed early and just go to bed late. Because if I go to bed late, I'll have a better chance of sleeping through and getting adequate sleep and not struggling with sleep.
Mhm.
So I'm just trying to make some changes that are going to be healthier options for me. Let's see. Willie Bond. Pleco like fish in a big planet tank that won't eat the babies. Yeah, I really think that the way to do plecos is with no fish. You do them with shrimp, but if you have fish, the fish are going to eat the baby plecos. I think that's why I've never been able to get plecos spawning because I've never been able to save the babies. I've always done them in tanks with fish in them. So once we're rebuilding now, the carpenter was in today, brought lumber. He's going to start building this week. So by next week, we should have new racks, and we'll be able to set up some new tanks. And I've not ordered fish in a while, in at least a week. Um, and I've been looking at the tanks carefully and trying to decide how to proceed. There are a number of tanks that are really successful, tanks with colonies of fish in them. There are other tanks that are kind of languishing. I'm talking now mostly about the 10 gallons. I've got 20 10-gallon tanks. And I think that's what I'm going to continue with, and maybe some 20s, 20 longs. But I want each of the, I'm sensing they need to be each unique. Um,
Mhm.
oh, that's interesting. I don't, I've never heard of that happening in a tank. I've heard of it happening in a bag.
Mhm.
They release a hormone that can affect themselves and others. How many cories do you have in that tank? And what size tank is it? Score. Need to get a little more information.
Mhm.
Willie Bond. Gonna go over and harass the old guy with questions. About his outrageous tank. 1,000-liter slope river tank. I saw that at
Mhm.
those aquariums. Yeah, I wondered why his underflow was as deep as it is. I've seen I've seen double current tanks before, and it's a really effective way to be able to do a river tank. But the bottom doesn't need to be more than an inch, and if it's similar, we're talking about His were like 3 to 4 inches, um, which is enough to do 2 rivers,
Right.
two
I was
streams,
thinking the same thing when I saw it.
above and a stream below. And you could do that. I mean, and keep like crayfish and shrimp and such stuff in the bottom one.
And she's got
64 gallon. I
Mhm.
had 10. No, I don't think so, Squirt. I don't think so. I'd be very, very surprised if that's what happened. Um, it is possible that there's something in the tank. If you've lost 7 of them and your other fish are in trouble, then something is certainly going on. But I would look more deeply and try to find another possible cause for that. I just don't think that I've had too many tanks with too many schools of Cory and have never had what I would consider to be that problem. Now, maybe because I've never looked for it. That's always possible. But I'd be very surprised if that's true. I do know that when Corys are shipped in bags, they generally will shake them up and then put them in new water. In other words, let them release their toxin and then put them in new water. They're a catfish, and most catfish have a toxin in their fins. Generally, it's the dorsal fin. 2 of my black neon tetras are dead this morning. My bed is not in good shape. Why don't you get over on Discord, Squirt, and share this with some folks over there. Let's see if we can help you figure out what's going on. I would be startled if that, I can't even imagine that a few Corys in a large tank would cause that kind of problem.
Yeah, same here.
So, but we've got some really good people, some good diagnosticians. You might need to get Maeve involved to
Definitely.
really take a deep look at it. But let's see if we can work with you on this to figure out what's going on. Mike and Susie Q. Getting in my dirt tomorrow. Can't wait to show Father Fish my before and after pics. Once all is said and done. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, well.
It'll be fun. A 100 centimeter. 100 centimeter, that's length. What's it? 2.5 centimeters per inch. Let's see. Let me get a.
I'll be right back.
How many centimeters in it? 2.5. 100 centimeter would be, yeah, about 40 gallons. You're right. 100 centimeter would be 40 gallons, double that. The Arizona Mesa look. Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? And Megan's asking Catherine, she's got a tetra heater. I assume it's adjustable, and I assume you got it cranked up higher, and it just isn't doing it. It could be that one of them is not working. Um, that could explain why. Why it's at 200 watts should be able to bring that heat, that temperature up to mid 80s at least. Um, the other problem with heaters is they're not always dependable. I mean, particularly cheap ones. I tend to buy better quality heaters just to be sure that they're going to work. And even then, I get failures. I mean, I've been using the Hydro heaters, 500-watt heaters. I've got a dozen of them in all my big tanks, maybe more than that. I got a bunch of them. I got two of them sitting here that one of them cooked a tank. It was set at 80 and heated it up to 110. Fortunately, there was nothing in the tank. And then another one that just isn't doing anything. And Hydro is not good about replacing them. They make you jump through an awful lot of hoops. I contacted them more than a week ago and have not heard back. So that's disheartening because for the money, they should be willing to back their product, particularly when it's brand new out of the box and not working properly, which was the case with the one that heated up the water to 110. That was a brand new heater. So
It heated up the water to 110?
you imagine that? Yeah, we got a new cube. A big cube, 70-gallon cube. And Corey set it up, put a heater in it. And he said, "This is ready." So whatever, stuck my hand in it. And it was bathwater hot.
Wow.
Bathwater hot. Bathwater warm. Bathwater hot. There's
Wow, that's impressive.
Hi, Dean.
Hey.
Good afternoon, everybody.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Show us what you're doing. It's looking great.
Yes, it's about 3 months old now, so I figured I'd get in and just kind of give an update.
All right.
Just been continuing to landscape a little bit here and there. I've had 2 rounds of the Molly's giving birth, so I've got a couple of babies in here if they'll come out and show us.
Nice.
I got your what was it, the specialty plant pack that I put in here, so a lot of the swords are there.
Right.
Floaters.
And a few gifts from Dana.
Yep. Dina shared with me some of her plants.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
How's the blackworm culture going?
Blackworm culture is doing great, actually. Did a little feed yesterday. That works out really good.
What's your substrate?
It's got just sand, a couple of lava rocks, and then I've been putting some of the scraps of the growth material that I've been pulling out of my tank that's been kind of overgrowing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been making it real easy because they get into that material, and then I can just pull it over here into the tank.
Oh, yeah.
And feed them.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes it really easy.
And that keeps them growing too. They've been really reproducing in that
Nice.
little bucket. So yes.
But What you need to do is get you some leaves from outside and put that in the blackworm culture. They'll love that.
Right, good idea.
Definitely. All
That's a
right.
good, that's a good nutrient for them. Perfect nutrient, actually.
Hmm.
Just dry leaves.
Yep. Like I said, my babies are hiding right now. I hadn't seen any of those come forward.
Uh, nice, Dean.
All right. Thank you.
Looking good. Thank you.
Great job.
Francisco is here. Looking good. And
Hello,
hi,
I am Mexican.
you're Mexican
I am from Monterrey.
from Monterrey.
Okay, only here for wrong that I click in the live. Okay, I have
You
I,
have a,
I
you
click
want
in
to
the.
show us your fish tank.
Yes, I have first time, but in my here in my house no. Yes, I have first time, but in my in my house no. Okay, sorry, and now it's mute in TV, and in my house no, I have local or aquarium store.
Yeah.
I have a lot better, uh, no say 200
Ah,
betas, and the plants and a lot plants, green garden, anubias, rotalas, etc.
now, can you show us?
Yes. Um, it's all. It's all. See you.
Okay.
I, I literally.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
He couldn't figure out how to do it. Jacob is here. Hi, Jacob.
Hi.
What are we
Hey,
looking at?
how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Look at this rug. There we go. How are
So,
you?
pretty good. I'm doing good. So, I added a light today, but I don't know if it's going to affect anything. It's not full spectrum, but it's white. It's 4,500 lumens with 5,000 kelvins. Kelvins should be the blue and red, right?
I don't know. I guess.
But it's got a lot of yellow. You can, but I don't know if it's going to hurt the. It shouldn't hurt it, right? It should help with
No,
the
it won't
plant.
hurt it. Light is light. Yeah, I do white. That's all I do is white.
But for yellow, you see it. It means it's more on the like a warmer white, right? Warmer white.
Yeah, I guess so. 4,500. I usually do 6, but it should not. It looks fine.
You see
So
his? Do you see
I see the
what?
Popeye.
That is strange.
He's
Yeah.
got,
Why is he? What's wrong with
it,
him? Is that normal?
no, it's an infection. He
Oh
has,
man.
yeah. Take him out and um, put him in a hospital tank or jar or something small, and treat it with salt. See if that'll kill off the bacteria. It's a bacterial infection.
That's a bummer. Look, and then the jungle valve's coming up all behind here. It completely blocked them off right under there.
Uh, a
But
hard way to
so
grow.
so it shouldn't give me excess algae then.
I don't think so. You just have to wait and see.
Okay,
If,
because
if it
that's
does,
what I'm worried.
yeah. Well, if it does, then you'll know. Tank's a little bit cloudy, so could just be the light.
It's the light. It's the yellow.
Yeah, it could be, right?
That's why, because I mixed it. I put the full spectrum in the front and because it's 48 inches long. So that's
I
more of the
see.
still type that I need, but it's not full spectrum.
Right.
But it should just watch it basically, and if it just, I guess it shouldn't. I guess it shouldn't hurt the plants. I just hope it
No,
gives it the
right. If
synthesis.
you wind up with algae, then cut it back or or or, or turn it off and see if it goes away. The algae is pretty easy to control. I was watching a video recently where a guy had a tank that was pea soup green. And it was going on and on about putting copper in it,
What?
which of course is toxic. I mean, copper would kill any fish that are in there, snails, anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all he had to do was turn the lights off. He had very bright light on it. Turn the lights off for 3 days, and the algae, the green water, goes away. Totally disappears. I don't think he ever got the message. You know, I tried to send a message, but never heard back.
Yeah, I can't wait for them. How long do you think I'll have to wait till my keyholes get to about full grown?
Oh, Lord knows. I've got some that I've had for over a year. And I think that's another thing I want to be able to do is start setting up species tanks for breeders, for like plecostomus, certain dwarf cichlids, other things that are really interested in spawning. Rams, certainly, credences, fish that people are going to be interested in buying that I can dependably breed and raise the young. So I think the fish room is going to become very different. It's really been a fish store kind of fish room with the emphasis on having a lot of variety. What's that?
That is, I've had him in there since day one. I don't know why the clown loaches haven't eaten him, but that is a assassin snail for some reason. He just hasn't. He's doing good.
Ah,
Keep seeing him
nice.
here and there. He'll dig himself down in here in the substrate, and then he'll come up here and there. That's his body right there.
I'll be.
Huh.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is.
Nice. Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah,
Just
thank
gotta
you.
watch this one there because that one's singled out, and I believe that one will fin nip.
I don't, well, maybe. Unlikely. That's a
It
bleeding
chases.
heart. Well,
It'll
fish
chase.
chase each other. Yeah, but you don't have any in-depth fins. I don't think you have any terrorists in there.
I mean, I don't think I do, but a lot of people at the fish store says I do.
Well, I would ignore 99% of what they say and take the other 1% and bury it.
Right?
You know,
That's basically what I do. I just let it go in and out.
yeah, they're not worth listening to. Thanks, Jacob.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thanks, Jacob. Zach's got a question for you. What is an adult size for keyholes?
Adult size,
Mm-hmm.
sexually mature, probably 2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dwarf cichlid. It's categorized as a dwarf cichlid. Like the ram and the crebensis and a number. There are a large number of dwarf cichlids that never much get into the hobby. I think because they're not especially colorful, but they're a whole lot easier to keep, and they tend not to be aggressive. I've got a few in the back. Apistogramma is another one.
Mhm.
That's something else I want to be able to do with these new tanks. I think I'm mainly going to make an effort to really go to species tanks in order to be able to get breeding behavior.
Mhm.
With I mentioned earlier with plecos, having a species tank of plecos with, and I guess you could mix species like in a 20 long or something. Puffin Muffin,
What's up?
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you grew your beard back.
Ah, look at that.
I've had
That's
this tank
beautiful.
for a year and a half.
Is that a bow front? Yeah, it's a bow front.
That bluefish, he's been alive for about a year.
Wow. Is that a glowfish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I messed up though. I got aquarium sand. I didn't know.
It's okay. It's really not a problem. It just costs more.
I'm trying to get these to grow out and start going up along my wall.
They take a while because it takes a while for the roots to begin. Once the
That's
roots catch, then it'll start growing much faster. It takes a long time to develop the root system. Just be patient with it.
I got some shrimp in there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I got a SpongeBob back there.
Right. That's
But
another thing. Shrimp, if you want to raise shrimp, you can't do it in a tank with fish because
uh,
fish will eat the babies.
gosh,
Mhm.
it's a separate tank.
Yeah. So they need their own tank. It's just one more example of being able to do things in a community setting, but that community setting does not lend itself to species being able to generate more of their kind. In nature, they can do that because they can kind of separate themselves off into a niche where they don't have competition. But it's harder to do that in an aquarium. Nice, I
They're,
like the tank.
Mhm. Yeah, me too.
I got on Discord. I wanted to move up on your ranks.
Well, just develop some friendships with some of the leaders.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's kind of the secret. Get to know people and, you know, enter in the social end of it more. That gives people a chance to understand what you know,
Mhm.
to learn what you know. uh,
Thanks for having me on, though.
oh, you bet. Nice to have you. Thank you, Puffin.
Yeah, he's got a nice tank. That bow front's beautiful.
What is this? Aquatic News Network, 60 to 65. Corey Pygmaeus and Clown Flecker. I don't know about clown. I, I don't. Um, I just don't. There are a lot of fish you can keep in cold water.
Mhm.
You can keep angels in cold water. In Florida, angels are kept throughout the winter in 45 to 50 degrees all winter long, and they do fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Um, and I think if if you want to, if you have a good reason to do that, and you want to do that, then you need to test it yourself and determine whether they're going to be safe, whether they're going to be healthy, and so forth. There are no hard rules other than for pure tropicals, that is, fish that live on the equator. Fish that live on the equator cannot tolerate temperatures below, much below 70, truthfully. Certainly not at all below 60.
Mm-hmm.
But there are many fish in semi-tropicals, Central America, for example, that can tolerate temperatures down into the 50s and even the 40s. And they're North American fish or um, subtropical, not subtropical, temperate region. They're temperate region fish that can tolerate water down to freezing. So, fish are pretty flexible, most of them, and you just have to try it and see. One of the things about Corydoras that's interesting is they live, many species of them live in creeks and streams in Peru that are flooded by meltwater from the Andes.
Wow.
That's in the spring, that's rushing down off the mountains, and it's cold. It's super cold, and they'll actually spawn when that spring water hits. It triggers spawning. They lay eggs in floating plants going by, which go on down into warmer water. So if you want to test the limits of fish, just be cognizant of the fact that that's what you're doing. You're testing the limits,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll find that you can keep fish in pretty cold conditions. Um, whether they'll breed, whether they'll grow at it, whether they'll remain healthy, all those things are things you need to be sensitive to so that you can learn what's happening. The prodigious is here.
Hey.
There he is.
I
Would
just
you
wanted to
get a
check.
haircut? You got a
Yeah,
haircut.
I'm just keeping it short now.
Nice. How are you?
I'm all right. I was actually checking in with you, seeing how you're doing.
Well, I'm not doing well. I'm in AFib, and it's really got me by the short hairs. But I'm trying to fight back against it, and I'm hoping to get some medical help with it, which I'll know by the end of the week whether that's going to be effective. So
Okay.
that's my current battle.
Well, my prayers are going out to you, man.
Thank you.
For sure, for sure.
Well, thank you. Nice
Yeah.
to see you, Bridget.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I called just to check up on you, see how you doing.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Bye for now. Thank you.
That's for now.
Bye. And Daniel has a question. Father Fish, I want to create a natural tank for my turtles, but won't they eat the plants and dig the sand? I keep 2 of them, and so far I just
What kind of turtle? What kind of turtles?
That's a good
You
question.
can do musk turtles.
Yes.
And even though they will go down into the substrate, they only go to the depth of their shell. They don't
Mhm.
dig down and make tunnels.
Mhm.
They just cover themselves so their nose can stick up and they can snag stuff going by. Um, there are others that will eat plants. So I don't know what kind of turtle do you have?
Mhm.
Daniel? Get down here. What's this?
Oh, you said yellow bellied.
Yellow belly. Well,
Mhm.
the problem with yellow belly, here's Danny Ken. Hey, Kenny, nice to have you with us. Um, the problem with yellow bellies is they get big.
Mhm.
I mean, they get really big. They get too big for a fish tank. So it's not a good turtle to keep. Um, and they also will try to catch and eat fish. Now, I had a friend years ago who had 55s, and they were pretty much bare tanks
Mhm.
with a lot of fish and turtles. And the turtles did not have landing places, and I think he had gravel in his tanks, and they were fairly successful. I mean, the turtles were swimming swimming around with the fish. Um, so it depends how you keep them. If you want to keep them in a natural aquarium, I recommend you do musk turtles, um, or maybe side neck. They don't get real big,
Mhm.
but try to get something small. Danny, Kenny had a. I was looking at some of your videos recently. It's some really cool stuff. Really nice videos. If you haven't visited Danny Ken Aquatics, by all means do so. He's got an immense collection of fish and some pretty unusual stuff. Let's see. Thank you, Chatterbox. That's a preset. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Yeah, it might be that rekindled your addiction. Right. That's
That it
what.
will.
So, Kristen B saying, please don't let Scort's question be forgotten.
Yeah, I thought we addressed it though. Is there another question? Let's check and see.
Well, I'm back at 6:16, which was half an hour ago.
Yeah.
So let me try to catch up here. Comes Brenda. Bubbling, thank you. I just got handed a bottle of water. What's this? Mike, thank you so much. I think I hit bottom.
Cool. Megan said no. The question's been addressed, and her, Deb, and Maeve's on Discord helping now.
Oh, good. Wonderful.
Yeah, those three make an awesome team.
Will Bond says, I paint plant blackberries, sorry, spread around wild strawberries, and put out ponds for the tadpoles, which the box turtles use. The creek in the back too for the wildlife. Wow. Basically, my backyard is a wildlife. That is so cool.
That is.
So cool. particularly having a creek. That's really, really nice. Let's see, what's this? Redhead Geo, digging pits. Well, yeah, they're in breeding mode. They're impossible, almost impossible to sex. Um, I guess what you need to do is pull out a pair and set them up in their own tank, like a 20 tall or a 20 long would sort of be minimum. I wouldn't put them in a 10. They're a little too big for that. If there appear to be two that are paired off, then try to pull them out and separate them. Give them a chance to complete the process they're involved in. Blackberries. I grew up in southern Maryland, and we had a blackberry patch in our had a large yard. It was a couple of acres anyway. But there was a big, almost an acre patch of blackberry bushes, and these were the ones with thorns. So you had to be somewhat careful. My father would go in there with the shears and create pads in the spring. So by the summer we could work our way through and pick. We picked all the time. We
That's
always
cool.
and Mom would make blackberry jelly. And then I discovered years later, I discovered domestic blackberries, which have no thorns, and the berries are immense. They're huge,
Right.
but they don't taste as good.
No, they never taste as good as the wild ones.
Yeah,
It's like wild blueberries. The domestic ones do not taste the same either.
funny, isn't it? Snuckster is here.
Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I got to warn you ahead of time. I have two dogs. You can hear one of them. He's a Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix. I think it's a Shepherd dog. The Malinois, he's protection trained, and he thinks it's weird when I talk and don't have anybody I'm talking to. Anyway, I'm in my shop, and I got three tanks in the shop. This is my old tank. I've had this tank set up since 2015.
Okay.
I live in Nevada in the high desert. It's about 5,000 feet.
Oh my.
Everything you see in the tank is from my property. The sand and everything. And
Cool.
the dirt is from, this sword used to look a lot nicer than it does. I trimmed a lot of the dead stuff off. This sword is also about 10 years old. It's actually the daughter of a sword. So it's, yeah.
You have
And then
native
this is,
fish in there.
no, this is just my baby tanks. There's nothing but baby guppies
Oh, okay.
at this time. I also have a nearite snail in here, but they like to hide.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. And then this is my main tank.
Your dogs are talking to each other.
Yeah, this is the main tank. Again, same thing. This is the natural sand from where I live. And I have a third tank. This is kind of an experimental tank where I have four baby experimental tank. I got four babies in here with little red roots, whatever. The babies are growing faster in this glass.
I have a dog here that's
Yeah.
talking. To
Yeah,
Bites her and
Bella's
wants to go
talking.
play.
Hopefully we didn't lose him.
Did we lose his Snuckster?
I think we may have.
Yeah, I think he's buffered out.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we lost
Try
him.
coming back in and hopefully it'll work.
Yeah. Yeah, try coming back.
Mm-hmm.
lives in High Sierra. Wow, in a truck. How cool is that? So you can have fish on the road.
That is cool.
Who knew?
Would have never have thought of it. That's really cool.
Let's see what
This
else.
this is a really good question. If my driftwood smells like rotten eggs, should I toss it out?
I would take it out and rinse it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as a bare minimum.
Definitely.
Doesn't sound good to me.
Mm-mm. Doesn't sound good to me either.
I would not want a rotten egg odor in my fish tank.
Mm-mm.
Rotten egg is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime that odor is dominant, it means that things are that more is dying than the environment can control. So it could be in a death spiral. I would be very careful about that.
Definitely.
What is this? Oh, we did that one.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds wonderful. This is
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Who is this? Somebody just came up. Snutzer's back.
Yep, he's back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. It just stopped. Like I said, I'm out in the middle of nowhere in Nevada, so it's kind of weird. Flash, you there? Anyway, my question was, so the babies I put in this
Mm-hmm.
are growing twice as fast as these ones.
That's impressive.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like it's I didn't really do anything. I'm barely even feeding this tank. I just kind of.
Look at this.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Got a rice protection jar complete with feeder and bubbler. Very
Yeah, it's a little bubble you've ever seen too. It's like the size of my thumb. It's so tiny.
Nice.
Okay, so I called in with the question.
Mm-hmm.
This plant here and this plant here are the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this one exploding and this one is like that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Question. Would take a little research and effort to try to figure out.
Yeah, it's strange. I've not been able to. All the plants are growing pretty good everywhere. I got these water onions. The plan is to line the back and the sides with water onion and anacarus.
Right.
Because I got a bunch of tetras, like 15 tetras in here, and probably 6 or 7 adult guppies and a bunch of babies in here. And I got a couple autos and a million snails.
Nice.
Plus some plants, and I got spider plant, pothos growing out. Another thing I noticed too is, so I'm from Sacramento, so my tank was originally obviously in Sacramento. I had a major duckweed issue, like you always do. But I don't know if it's the altitude or the well water I have, but the duckweed died within a week.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
yeah, I don't know what it is, but I don't like. I think I told you guys that all the sand and everything in the dirt, except for this colorful crap, is all from it's all from my property. So and even the lava rocks I took from the property, and I made like a little cave out of them here. And
that's cool.
I like to keep things as natural as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So like I got into fish. I got this tank because I was out with my dogs about 10 years ago at the park I go to, and there was some flopping around in this creek. I didn't know what the heck it was. So I look over, and it's a fish. I'm like, oh my God, it's fish about this big.
Wow.
So I take it and about a dozen minnows that I was able to capture in some garbage big gulp cup somebody left. Took it home, didn't know anything about fish. Took it home, went to the pet store, bought this thing. This is old. This uses the old school kind of light bulbs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Bought this, took it home, didn't know what kind of substrate it. I didn't know any of that stuff. I just took the sand and the sediment and mud from the creek and put it in here, and everything exploded out of it.
Right.
So ever since then, I try to keep things natural. I'm not a big fan of like the aquarium, the aquarium knick-knack doodad things people put in there. The only thing that's artificial in this tank is that you can kind of see maybe the little half clay pot in there.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I wanted little hiding spots.
Right.
But yeah, this plant, this reason I called in is just I'm trying to figure out what the heck is the deal with that.
Well,
That is
that's a
strange.
bulb plant, and they do tend to explode in
Yeah.
groups when they're right. And I don't know what right is.
Yeah.
I think it's seasonal, frankly. But I think
It might be.
with the
I've had
itself.
I've had these lotuses before. In fact, that's the first aquatic plant I ever had was a lotus, and it exploded and then it just completely. I thought it died, but I guess they go dormant. And,
Well, they're an annual. I mean, all of those plants die back.
yeah, but this is before I knew you had to have a heater too. So I wasn't sure. I was in Sacramento, so my house never got too cold. But I got some hornwort in there.
Yeah.
Kind of experimenting. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of it for now. But,
Thanks, Doctor.
yeah, no problem.
Put it over on Discord. There are
Okay.
folks there who would love to share this with you.
All right, cool.
Take
All right,
care.
thank you.
All
Bye.
right, bye for now. Matthew Plowden is here. Hey, Matthew.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
First time I've been to get on here in about 2 or 3 weeks. I've been had other pressing issues, but this is
Well,
one I
you do
set
have
up
stuff.
probably a month ago. But I put 2 big old hunks of Mopani wood in there, and boy, let me tell you what, that stuff can lead some tannins.
That it can.
I, I mean, luckily the fish I put in here, which they're black neons and glow lights, and then there's like 2 bristle nose in there. And 2 weeks ago, you couldn't hardly even see in it. It was that dark. And I've changed it like twice since then, like 25-30% of the water.
Yeah.
And kept changing my filter out, and it's kind of cleared it up to this, and it's still, if I was to drain that out in a white bucket, it would still be brown. But the fish seemed to like it. It didn't seem to bother them. But what I wanted to ask you about is where I live at, I got well water, but it's really soft. And I think the pH out of the tap runs 6.2, 6.3, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And but it's really, really soft. I mean, when I say soft, I'm talking about it's very,
I understand.
very soft. So I don't know. I can't. There's only a couple like these. You see these stem plants right back there in the corner?
Yeah.
Them and, well, that one kind of back there. But the rest of the stem plants I get and put in any of my aquariums, they're floating because the stems rot off.
Yep. I'll tell you
So-
what, if I had soft water, I would mineralize it.
Right.
I just
Well,
would.
anything that has
Think
roots,
about what I needed to do to make that happen. Because there
Yeah.
are too many things that depend on hard alkaline water.
yeah. Well, anything with roots, like the swords and stuff like that, they'll go with it. I mean, they have no problem.
Well,
You know,
they can make
so
trees out of
I'm
that
just
stuff.
gonna,
Right.
when I get my money situation right, I'm gonna kind of go away from the stems, and I'm just gonna get stuff like valves and swords, anything,
Yeah.
crypts, anything that's got roots on it.
That
And
makes
that's just what I'm gonna do.
That
My
makes
other 20 gallon I set up is almost, I mean, it got to the point where it got pretty bare because all the stems just. Now I'll put them in here. There's nothing in this tank, but for some reason I got that other aqua soil in it.
Yeah.
And if they come loose, I'll just plant them in here. And I got my resurrection jar, which is like a 1 gallon, and
Oh,
I'll
nice.
throw them in there. But see this, how bare it's gotten?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But all the stems have just, like I propagated a couple right down there, and there's like a money wart in the very back that I'm trying again. But the Nubius, the swords, I think that's a crypt there. Can you see it?
I need to come up with a mineralization product.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'll get. I'll talk to Maeve about it. We'll see if we can find something
Okay.
that we can
But,
offer.
and this is my resurrection jar. It's full of these little white things. And they're teeny tiny. You can barely see them, but they're all in there.
Nice.
I love that res
But
jar.
I got that little. My sister-in-law gave me that thing. It's a plexiglass octagon
Right.
or whatever, and but it's got all that crap in the bottom. There's an Amazon sword in there and a stem and then my bamboo. It's just growing out the top of the root. So
Very cool.
a little bit of air, but. What are them little teeny white things that are in there? I know you can't see them because I could barely see them myself, but
Well, I don't know. There could be a number of things. We've got a couple of videos that have been put up recently on the channel describing some of the things that you find in the resurrection chart. You might take a look at that. See
Well,
if you
there's
can,
whatever they are, there are hundreds of them in there. I mean, sometimes you got to kind of jiggle it a little bit, but
feed them to your fish. Feed them
well,
to
that's
your
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a turkey baster and suck them out, and just go feed the fish with them.
Right.
And, but I'm gonna let them populate a little bit more, just to get it to where if I, to the point where I know if I stick that turkey baster in there, I'm gonna suck out a bunch of them.
Definitely.
And just go over there or put it in a mason jar or whatever and pour it out. Let them go to town. But anyway, I wanted to, hey, the fellow with the blackberry things, you was talking about blackberries. Where I live in South Carolina, I mean, they just grow in the woods. When I was a kid, my grandmother, we used to go down there and we'd pick and pick and pick, and I mean, we'd come back out with bucketfuls of them things, and she'd make cobbler, and oh man, the best stuff. But the wild ones are the best. They can't imitate that flavor, man. But we got wild grapes out here too. But now everything, if you can't reach it because the deer their stand on the hind legs, and they'll eat everything they can reach.
Oh, they will. Right.
Oh yeah, there's deer out here. South Carolina's got way too much deer, way too much. Yeah, every night I see them. So
limestone. Christian B says limestone.
Limestone, yeah. Somebody told me crushed coral, things like that.
Same difference.
Yeah. I guess it's almost like the shell of an animal. It's
right.
You got to add things so that the shell, like a shrimp or something, that'll make the shell stronger. So I guess the same thing.
You
okay.
Bet. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you so much. Nice to have you on.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Adam, thank you very much. Curtis Belcher. Hey, Curtis.
Hey, I was telling that one gentleman that was having some kind of problem is he could cover his rocks with Java moss like I did this little pebble. I mean, this rock is like the size of my thumb.
Wow.
I got big in there, and the rest of it's just all grown out. I originally wanted to show y'all my Cory tank. This is my beta tank. It's a 5 gallon for one beta. He's a if I can figure out where my camera is, it keeps moving around. Sorry, y'all. It's a blue half moon male, and he's blue.
Nice.
And his name's Blue.
Right.
And
Love it.
But what I wanted to show y'all was a long time ago when I first started watching Father Fish, I had a tank set up, and it had corridoras and swordtails in it. I asked Father Fish if a fry was a corridora catfish. He said no, it was a swordtail. Well, I found out he was right. And he said that the swordtails and everything would eat all my eggs. So I've since moved my corridoras into a tank. They're blacked out right now. I can't show you, but into a tank by themselves. And they are reproducing. They're having fry. The fries hiding in the Java moss.
Oh, nice.
That is.
And it seems to be surviving naturally. The fry does. This is my 110 indoor pond. It has goldfish. It has like fancies. It has the ones with the big foreheads. Its names I can't remember. It's got like butterfly koi. They get skittish. Wow. I hold the camera down here.
Nice.
And I have a lot of driftwood and rock in that one. And then I don't have to do this next part. I'm gonna turn on the lights. The fish hate it, but I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Here's my swordtail tank now that I showed you before. There's my little sword done took over. This plant over here has exploded and took over this whole part. I got my Java moss rock here in the front.
We're
gonna try to do the black rock. Yeah, I make those.
That is really ingenious.
Yeah, I just bought a Java floating Java moss ball. Oh, I hit the glass there, mad. But yeah, this is the Cory tank I was telling you about. Oh, I think I'm going. Yeah, get the light. I'm sorry about that. I think I got off of there. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Y'all just disappeared, so I didn't know.
We can still hear you. We're watching your tank.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's that one. Like I said, this is, if I turn on the white light, they are really going to spaz out, and I don't know if the babies are out. So I'm not going to do that, but I'll show you the rest of them for now. I got this. And then I have my overflow pond for my swordtails that I just pretty much any extra plants, stem plants, any plants I end up with that won't go in one of my tanks currently float in there. And this is a rescue pond. It is just common plecos that I've rescued. Me and my wife rescued.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, but this right here was one of our little experiments to see if we can get all these fish to live together. And they're all big and fat and happy.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good.
Very cool.
Well, this is almost time for a water change on this pond. And no, this isn't natural. It's all rock. I got the porthos growing all the way around it with roots in the water all the way.
Oh,
But it's double sponge filters, 2 of them about that size on both sides. And then I got this, monster here. And that's just to, handle the waste and all the stuff from them.
Very cool.
And this was from Tractor Supply. This is in my video, cheaper than a 110 aquarium. And that was when this was new with just the sponge filters. And then I got some update videos on there about it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, the Java moss was just like, I got really good ones in my catfish tank. But like I said, I don't want to turn that light on. But basically, all this is just like a regular rock. I wrap the Java moss on it. And then I wrap fishing line around that, and then tie it and set it in there and let it grow.
Wow, that's easy.
Yeah.
Love it. I love
Nice.
the look of it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like that one gentleman that said he was having problems with stem plants, but he had all them beautiful stones in there. If he just did every other one in Java, the Java's going to take over anyway. The moss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'll climb, like you can see, it's climbing through the bottom of my tank, all over the sand, and I'll reach in there and take it out every so often. And that's how I build new Java rocks.
Nice.
Java rocks.
That is nice.
And I went with this because the original filter I bought from Walmart, it wasn't very effective. It kind of just blew bubbles and looked cool. So I run to the fish store and got that. It ain't the prettiest, but it definitely gets the job done, which was more important for me.
Right.
And yep, that's basically, I got 1, 2, 3 tanks, and then technically 3 ponds, I guess.
Looking good.
And this is just the beta that I keep showing you. Huh?
I like it.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't even, I did the fish thing when I was younger. I threw a few fish in a, aquarium and tried to basically do it and like do the best I could, and it never really worked. And then I started watching your content, and like just the stuff you said made sense. So I started using it, and that's how I ended up with all the stuff I got now. It just trickled from a single tank into multiple tank, I guess multiple pond syndrome. I don't know what you call it.
Right.
Love it.
But you can see my silver koi. I keep wanting to go the wrong way. That's a koi, the spotted one right there. That's the silver butterfly koi, and there's a gold butterfly koi right here.
I love the butterfly koi.
Oh yeah, dude. My wife got me both of those for my birthday this year.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Looks
It
good.
was really nice. And we get each other fish as a gift. I got her that one right there with, wait a minute, where'd he go? It's an Oranda, or however you say it, and it's got the black on the.
I think I see it.
Right there.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so we get each other fish for gifts, but because we, are a couple, we can get away with that. I know that's like a no. You don't get someone a fish for a gift because you don't know if they have the habitat, but we buy it when they've got the habitat.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, but I wanted to say thank you for telling me about moving my cories, because since I moved them into a solid, now it is not just cories. I know there's a risk of like my Raphael catfish eating, my striped Raphael catfish eating fry, but it's like he doesn't. I mean, if he does, he doesn't do it like to where I can see him or anything. He like most of the time he just barely swims along the bottom and eats little pellets.
Right.
But he's still a baby too. He's half the size he'll get to also. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay. I will talk to y'all later. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to the live.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
He's got some really cool setups.
Yeah, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. I just had to ban TK Tropicals. It's a young man who is so badly deluded that he seeks ways to try to create confusion and dissension and contempt just for the sake of doing it. He's convinced somehow he's right and he's not. He's convinced he understands what he's talking about, and he does not. He's completely ignorant, and finds his way into these chats. He was in Discord for a while. He was part of the group that we had to remove from the Discord, and he was one of the people who I really tried to work with, because I didn't want to see it happen. But he was just so adamant in his hostility and his accusations that were so over the top that it became obvious that he was not going to, it was not going to be open to understanding the truth of anything.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things we're facing in our culture right now is there is a small segment of people who are so caught up in their hatred of everything, their hatred of their own life, I'm sure, that they cannot see that there really can be goodness in anybody other than themselves, and in truth, not even themselves. They can't even conceive of themselves as able to be good. And so they're hateful, they're mean, they're vengeful, they're vulgar, they're destructive, they're violent. And we're seeing that right now, but we're seeing it in a way that's interesting, because for the first time in a long time, we can see it for what it really is. And we can focus it and narrow it down and isolate it. And isolate those individuals and bear down on them hard with truth. And I think truth is the only thing that can break through. And it doesn't happen quickly, and it doesn't happen easily. And for many of these folks, it only happens, they're like alcoholics.
Yeah.
They're consumed by their hatred, and it has to bring them to the point of absolute collapse before they will give it up, before they will surrender it. You've heard the term a liberal who is mugged becomes a conservative. And it's kind of that way. And we all have, as we grow old, or grow out of our childhood, we all have experiences like that. I know I did. And it was really pretty devastating. I was on the other side of a lot of this stuff all through my young adulthood. And then it came at me, it showed me no mercy. Those who I believed in, who I trusted, were as vicious and as cruel to me as they could possibly be.
That's horrible.
And it made me realize I was putting my trust and my faith in people who were not worthy of it. Not at all. In people who are really demonically possessed.
Right.
They really, and to this day, they are. It's sad. So we need to be in prayer, and we need to be faithful and strong in speaking truth to falsehood.
Absolutely.
Speaking truth to lies. Beware the false prophet, says Simon. Amen to that.
Right.
Melania Marana. Dirt method. Kai Fish says that the dirt and sand method really helped. It does. It just makes it work. Roll fish, right?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Truth can't even help them. It doesn't help them until they're beaten down by it, until they have no way to be able to sustain their their deceit. And I think that happens when 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 they become the recipient of what they're dishing out from the people who they're following.
Yeah.
Ah, John Mellencamp. Do I know John Mellencamp? No, I don't know John.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't think I've followed John Mellencamp at all.
I don't believe I have either.
No, he's a singer songwriter. I'm not much into popular music.
Same here.
73 is an older dude. Don't I recognize the face, but
Mhm.
I'm looking at his music. I'm not familiar with any of this music.
Here's a good question. What music do you like, Father Fish?
Well, I prefer classic. If there's a classic radio station in where I'm living, I'll have that on 24/7. Um, I can tune in and tune out to it. I can become engrossed in it, or I can let it just kind of flow in the background. Um, I grew up in church, so I know thousands of hymns. My father, who was not particularly musically inclined, was the pastor of the church, and he would always introduce new songs. How he knew to do that is beyond me. But
That's cool.
because he couldn't read music,
Yeah.
but he did. I never found out how he did that, how he knew all these songs. And it wasn't like he grew up in church. He grew up in a deaf church where they did not have music.
Oh,
But
wow.
he had 3 choirs, a children's choir, an adolescent choir, and an adults choir. And they all sang every Sunday. It was just amazing. And I know hundreds, perhaps thousands of hymns
That's
and
so cool.
Christian songs. Yeah,
Yeah, that's my favorite music is Christian music.
really.
Yeah.
But this is all the old hymns, the Wesley hymns and whatnot.
Mhm.
So it's all from my childhood.
That's cool.
Let's see what else is going on here.
Let's see.
Kimco. Let's see. Kimco says they, I don't know who they are.
Mhm.
Lucky it was the KGB in USSR. Just with knowledge of your friend and gone away. Yeah, communist stuff. I don't know what they're referring to.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's scroll up and see if I can find it. go to the singular chat.
Yeah, Megan, I tell you, it's interesting to me. I think that's what it means to carry Jesus' cross. Because if you're going to live by the principles of love, you're going to be attacked by those who are filled with hate. In the same way that he was. I mean, he was traveling the countryside, walking, talking to people, sharing with people, with huge crowds following him. Nothing comparable to that really happens today in quite the same way. Partly because we're more spread out, I guess, and it would take longer to walk from one end of the country to the other.
Definitely.
But, we do the same sort of thing. I mean, we have people who travel the country. You think about Trump's rallies.
Mm-hmm.
They are community celebrations. I mean, that's really what they are. And I'm not equating that with anything religious.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't. I mean, I have very serious personal questions about the theology that surrounds the Trump experience and the Trump the Trump mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see it as a force for good, and I see that its aims and its intentions are worthy and are positive. Trump is a liberal. He's an old time liberal.
Did not know that.
He's a kind of liberal. Well, he always was.
Mm-hmm.
In New York, he was all the liberal. Like so many people, the Liberal Party left him. He didn't leave it. Liberalism in the 50s and 60s, and he's from that era, same era I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Hubert Humphrey liberalism. It was the Kennedy liberalism. It was the right of free expression.
Mm-hmm.
It was not discriminating on the basis of anything other than merit. It was expressing care and compassion across the board. It was building one's community. I was looking at this funny thing. I saw a video today of Baltimore in 1959. In 1959, I graduated from Baltimore City College. I loved the city, just loved it. Found it was an enriching experience that I could just thrive in. And when I watched the video, that's what it was talking about. Baltimore then was a thriving, growing, expanding city, fastest growing city in the country in 1959. More industry moving in, more homes being built, a rich community environment. Strange how things change, and how things change in ways that are not particularly good. But anyway, I got totally off track. Lost track of my original comment, I think. Responding to Megan.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we have to do is, those of us who are together, we need to simply be unified and unbroken. We need to be unbroken. We need to be unbound. We need to keep the conviction, keep the faith. in spite of the horrors of the world, because the world is a terrible place. It genuinely is a terrible place. It's full of death, disease, violence, poverty, misery. It's full of it. And we, we work in little pockets to try to bring about some change. And I think truthfully that's the Trump doctrine. To try to correct what can be corrected, to try to fix things that are obviously broken. And those who oppose that, they oppose it because they're benefiting from the destruction. They're benefiting from the corruption. And they can't see it. They can't see that that's true, that that's really what's happening. And so they get very self-righteous and very indignant and make complete fools of themselves by standing for things that are so manifestly corrupt. So we're in the middle of it. We're in the middle of it right now. We're fighting the war right now for the minds and hearts of all of us. We need to be together. We need to be unified. We need to be as one. That doesn't mean being a cult. It doesn't mean following people blindly. It doesn't mean any of that. It means acknowledging that there is a God and that God is universal. And that God is the source of truth. And we can commit our lives to that. And in so doing, we can be part of that ultimate absolute truth. So, yeah, a cult, if that's a cult, I'll take it.
That was funny.
But it's tricky, It's not simple. We need to be wise.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The manor I live in got a 29-gallon with the second cook. Don't know what that means. I'm not allowed to play with or advise. Really want to get a tank. Well, do, Ivory. Just do it. Just get your own little tank and set it up your way. And then show them that they don't know what they're doing. Cougars. Let's see. Staghorn algae. My opinion of staghorn algae. There are certain algae I really like.
Oh, same here. I find the mat algae to be really useful, especially for res jars.
Not into worldly music. Those China rocks. Yeah, I think I'm not either, actually. I was as a teenager, so really not a lot. Working with the Father Fish method in a 10-gallon. And many tanks that did in substrate. Well, that'll be good. That'll be a good lesson for you. Willie Bond. Oh, I like this, Star Wars. I don't just want my duckling to die, I want it to suffer first. Am I a bad person? Yes, you are. It's terrible. Best way to control duckweed is put a goldfish in the tank.
Definitely.
Goldfish love duckweed. It's their food of choice. Do I like the beetles? Mostly I do. I mean, that's that's my era too. Growing up in the '60s, classic rock, Liz Matthew. Oh my goodness! Oh my word! Val Putri is here. My God, woman! If you've got a camera and a mic, I want you to come up and say hello. Gracious. A lot of you have seen pictures of Val. Um, there's a picture of us in a video that Karan made, not Karan, Naresh, that Naresh made about 5 years ago of the old shop. And it shows the two of us together.
That's
And,
cool.
it's just a sweet picture. And Val was one of my absolute best friends in Florida. Remarkable woman, highly artistic woman. Um, I'm so happy to see you here, Val. That's absolutely delightful.
Mhm.
And please, if you can figure out how to click through and come up,
Definitely.
it'd be absolutely delightful to introduce you and be able to chat with you. It's an enormously animated woman, just full of ideas and uh, enormously chatty and friendly, delightful person. So happy to see you, Val. Redneck Aquatics. Immortal. Do I have to clean fish poop? When grow houseplants on it? Probably not, because the detritus will all sit down into the sand. Willie Bond loves gospel. I do too. I absolutely do. Any good gospel links on YouTube? No, I don't. Oh, cool. Melanie has 3 male bettas and 10 females and a fancy goldfish living together in a plant at 120.
That's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, I do. I do too. I've got a number of tanks with bettas and goldfish, fancy goldfish. They do very well together. Do you think fish can hear music? Yeah, I do actually. I think they pick up the vibration because it's a vibration, and it certainly affects everything. And if the music is tonally, um, I don't know, healthy, I guess, then I think it impacts fish in a positive way. I don't think they hear it so much as they feel it as a vibration in their environment.
That makes sense.
Chatterbox is saying I should have a service. I've thought about that so many times. I just haven't gotten myself to do it. I need to start it because if I do, people will come along who will want to participate in it. We'll get some music people in there. It could be a lot of fun. It could be something that I think a lot of people would enjoy. I need to do that. I think we've got a channel. I need to talk to Dean again about this multiple channel thing because I really want to move on that. I haven't moved on it because I don't understand it, but I need to, and we need to move forward with it. We need to get the natural aquarium channel moving. Ryan is making wonderful videos that really belong there and that will promote and grow that channel. And I would love to be able to do a I don't know what to call it. We could do it as a worship experience. Could do it as a chat. I don't know. It's just,
You
but
just
I'd
gotta think on it.
like to get something started and get input and see where we can take it. Talk to Dean and get him to
I
call
will.
me. Let's see if we can do that.
Yeah.
Curtis Belcher said he was an outlaw in his time. I assume he's talking about Jesus. Well, he was an outlaw to some, and a Robin Hood maybe to others. I mean, that's kind of the image of the Robin Hood. Although Jesus never stole from the rich, because he had all the wealth, so he could, he could get money from the mouth of a fish. He did. He had no need
Right.
of taking from anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy for color. My fish know what I'm saying. If a yellow one is being a jerk, he's the only one who runs. Well, you've certainly developed a unique relationship. That's just remarkable.
That is remarkable.
Crazy. And I think it would be good for you to put some videos together along
Oh
those
yeah.
lines. I'd be very interested in watching that. Rock thrown with words. Yeah, true enough. Irene listens to oldies. Yeah, Irene is 48. My water tester says I have high nitrates, nitrates, and nitrates. He meant nitrates. But everything else is perfect. Lots of plants, 2 fish die. So I did a water change. Yeah. Add more plants. You've got more nitrates than the plants are able to assimilate, so you can use more plants. Yeah, we have a commercial channel. This is a commercial channel, which allows us to have multiple channels, all of which are linked together as one, which I don't understand. So I need to.
Yeah. After the live, I'll get Dean to come back here.
Trump had a heart change a while back. He certainly did. He absolutely did. Did you? If you look at his demeanor in his first presidency and now, he was much more kind of boisterous and loud and aggressive. And he's not that way at all. Now, he's
Right?
very quiet, he's subdued, but he's firm like a rock.
Yeah, after live stream. Yeah. It's actually kind of amazing.
It really is. Well, and he claims that he believes that he was saved by God.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Assassination, he believes that. And clearly he was. I mean,
Absolutely.
it was just a split second and a completely non-directed kind of act that caused him not to be killed instantly. The oldest fish anyone has had. Stonefish can live over 20 years. Never heard that. I don't doubt it a bit. Oldest fish I've had. Lord knows. Eel, maybe. I don't know. It's a good question. 6 type of rainbows. Tetras, catfish, cherry barbs, 7 tanks, crazy for them. And they all follow, they all know your voice. That's remarkable.
That is.
You are allowed, Father Fish. Prince of this world. There's the problem, isn't it, Willie Bob? The prince of this world. The prince of this world is the demon of hell.
Right?
19 years old, Kruger says, an albino pleco. Wow. Yeah, Curtis, you say what you want. Oh, that's interesting. Do I think I jumped back? I need to get back to where I was. Let's see. Crazy for color, says Father Fish. Trump is one of many who put together a plan to wake up the people, save the nation over several decades, and answer the prayer intercession of his people in D.C. since that purpose since 1980. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. Willie Vaughn. Some part of some great singularity, as some quantum physicists hypothesize. Yeah, that's obviously true.
That's
And
interesting.
I think that's absolutely right. I think when you're linked into the universe, you're part of the singularity.
That's a really cool thought.
Here's the thing about that. It persists in spite of change.
Mm-hmm.
It persists in spite of the fact that everything breaks down and disappears and is reconstituted, rebuilt, renewed, reborn as something else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the things. It's not the things that are what's permanent. It is the process that's permanent.
Mm-hmm.
So learning to participate in that process, learning to celebrate it. And I think that's really what our fish tanks are. They're a process. There's something we can look at and we see it as a process. And the longer we have it, the older it is, the more we understand that process, the more we understand that change is not just inevitable. Change is the purpose. It's the function. It's the nature of reality.
That makes sense.
So we can't allow ourselves to get stuck on any one thing because that one thing has no permanence. So what do we get stuck on? You know, we get stuck on, well, the singularity, whatever we determine that to be, the presence of God among us. I think of it as consciousness. I think consciousness is the universal absolute. And consciousness is the presence of God. Consciousness is not God, but consciousness is demonstrates, evidences the presence of God. It is God consciousness. Consciousness is the manifestation of God's presence in us and among us. And that consciousness, I believe, extends to all of reality. I think rocks have a form of consciousness. I know animals and plants do. I'm clear about that because I've experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, life certainly does, but that which is inanimate certainly does too. and it's subatomic. I mean, it does not exist within the constraints of physical reality. It has no physical reality, but it determines the nature of physical reality. Deep stuff.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty cool.
Nice. Let's see. We're each one of us angels with one wing. We can fly by embracing each other. That's nice. I like that.
That is.
I like the look of green algae. Yeah, I do too, actually. Can you put goldfish in a freshwater tank? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And rarely will be a problem. The only problem you'll have is that there are fish that'll just tear goldfish up. They'll chew their fins off, they'll eat their eyes out, and they'll kill them. So you got to be careful about that. I don't put them with big cichlids ever, because big cichlids are far too aggressive.
I just realized the time, Lou. It's 8:04.
My goodness,
Time flies when you're having fun.
We did 2 hours, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
All right, well let's put this to bed. We've done well. Love you all. Wonderful to do this.
Love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty,
Blessing to be with you.
feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I have traveled the world over, but never found a peace that comes from watching my fishies as they swim about their home. My heart is happy and I am content to sit and watch them swim. I will not be alone while these fishies are in my home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.
Good night, all.
Night, y'all.
See you all. Wednesday. We'll be back.
That we will.